Kingdom. How are you? I think I'm just going to ask Jehovah for some love energy really quick. Let's just put out some love vibes. How's that sound? Jehovah, what's going on in love right now for our Kingdom Collective? Well, Ten of Swords here. Someone just cannot stop thinking about somebody, even after devastation has already happened. There's very much haunting. There's very much, no matter what I do, I always think of this person. No matter what I do, no matter what mistakes I want to take personal accountability for, no matter what I decided to act upon out of my flesh, it wasn't true to my spirit. And that's why they're feeling this way. This big 10 is here. The shift overall, the wheel that is moving forward in your four tunes of your kings and your queens, your air, your fire, your water, and your earth. But this is air here. It's moving your mindset over and over, because not only is it mirroring, but it's providing so much judgment to learn from, wisdom, knowledge, power, and perception, in order to move forward and say, you know what? Every single time one of these swords hurt me, I'm going to remember how that felt, and I don't want to do that again moving forward. So now I have to face the judgment, because if this is 10 swords, honey, that's 111 there. If this is 10 swords, that's 20 wands. So that brings in the judgment, and that's why that wheel is moving, the potential from the judgment alone. You may have had a broken picker, but now you're learning how to have a picker, right? There's these two cards here as well. Let's see. The Emperor in the negative and the Star. Oh my goodness, Lord. See, in this love reading, it's like, you are my child. He is not the Emperor for you. We're talking to a feminine right now. I'm just telling you right now. Maybe you're the masculine and with the feminine energy. Oh, Lord, this is twin flame, isn't it usually? So look at this. I see now. I see now. I see now. The reason why you can't stop thinking about this person is because you have yet to really learn the lesson from this karmic partner who you thought was your emperor. But turns out this person, what the lesson and wisdom and knowledge and power, the big bang that they have to give you, is going to help you bring your own masculine energy in. Whether you're the feminine, whether you're the masculine, you guys, we're just stuck. We're trafficked in flesh scientific test tubes, but your inner spirit is going to operate from masculine or feminine. This is the runner or the chaser. It doesn't matter. All I'm seeing, 222, is that there's wisdom to be learned here. There's wisdom to be learned here. And it's also just the acceptance of letting go and being able to not think about them anymore and stay true to yourself here. Being able to focus on the bigger picture. Focus on the bigger picture, and then this energy will come in. When your own emperor can come in, that means that the empress is also here. So that means that the star had to come first before the moon, the empress, could come. The high priestess, the intuition, right here. On top of this tower, this electrical prop, what is manifested, our flesh, our crown, right? Before that, sun can come in, which is also the boss, the big kahuna, Jehovah Elohim himself, the king. So we have this star, Jesus, Yeshua, each of us, God's children, and then our feminine properties and our masculine properties to give us our own empress and our own emperor energy. Either way, he is photosynthesizing us to be just like him. Now, with this 10 of 2s behind here, this is 321. This is just cleansing out that mindset. This is not allowing us to see this illusion that's there, but it's there because we're not seeing that 9. We're seeing that 10. There's one extra sword, 333, that's just in the way before this star power can transmute it and bring in that emperor in. However, what we have to take into consideration is what we don't see, but it's clearly here. The Empress is right here on the backside, and she's going to be positive, polarizing, because it is opposite of this. So we have a happy Empress on the inside of you, honey, but this masculine energy is blocking this from moving forward. This blocking you from being able to decide, you know what, maybe I didn't act out of my ego. Maybe I acted out of my spirit and they acted out of their ego. Or maybe vice versa. Maybe I acted out of my ego and they acted out of their spirit. Maybe I was logical and maybe they were emotionally reactive. Either way, it doesn't work. It doesn't work because there's one extra sword here, because that 9 is constantly divisible by itself. That star is constantly divisible by itself within that feminine energy that it also pertains to, which is right here. So now, once this can be removed, and it goes back to the 9, because we have the 6 here, the lover's decision between both inner children, the feminine and the masculine, the page and the princess, the prince and the princess, the knight and the knightess, and then the queen and the king, the family of 6 there, the 6 lovers positions right here in that star. Star is 17, it goes back to 8, the strength in between 2 bodies that control it, the emperor and the empress. So we have this huge tower that's already been built. Now it's just clearing it out to make sure all the balancing properties can come in. So when that's a 9, it's going to divide itself, and then guess what? Poof, the power of both here within that tower and that empress here. Lord, let's see what else is here within that 10 and 2, that star and that emperor. And this is so divinely guided, this twin flame relationship. I mean, there's definitely a separation here because that person that you thought was it wasn't clearly it. They're not going to be your karmic partner. This twin flame relationship that has been so dubbed is not the one that you thought. Is not the one that you thought. I don't even think you've met this person yet. I think there's more of the focus on, I want my twin flame, I want my twin flame, I want my twin flame. Well, sweetheart, God is our very first twin flame. However, we are our own twin flame first. That star has to come. That high priestess energy has to come before that emperor and that empress can, before the moon and the sun can. And you know, Yeshua, he's always looking for his bridegroom energy. So this magician, overall energy of manifesting inside of you is what needs to be focused on first, which is why that new Ace of Swords has to come in to give you a new spiritual backbone of truth. To be able to show you, look, you can't put yourself in those positions any further. This was all your Old Testament. So why are you trying to continue your Old Testament properties and self-harm behaviors in your New Testament? And how am I able to reward my star child with anything that they could ever want if they don't know how to properly handle it right now? Lord, what's going on with this twin flame energy here? This twin flame relationship, this karmic partner on the outside, which stops this person from going in on the inside, this empress energy. Let's do this outer energy, Lord. This, whoa. Oh, the wheel right here. He says, it's not even worth me pulling this energy because I'm already moving you past it. And that just continues to dwell. God says, I'm not going to enable your self-harm behaviors any further, my child. I need you to flip the script and realize, look at, I'm moving your wheel. I'm moving your wheel for you no matter what, because the star is always burning. My star child is always having an internal flame. Would you like to continue depolarizing yourself? Would you like to continue getting yourself away from your true self behaviors instead of your self-harm behaviors? Because John 5, 6, 7, 11 just passed. Would you like to get well? And if you'd like to get well, I have the opportunity. I have the grace. I have the power. I have the perception. I have the mercy and the compassion to put that on who I'd like to give mercy and compassion to. My child alone. You want to know how God loves you, sweetheart? Pretend you have a child. Imagine your child if you have one. Any children of the world. When they get a boo-boo, you get a boo-boo. When they get their feelings hurt, you get your feelings hurt. When they fall and scrape their knee, you wish you could fall and scrape your knee so they didn't have to deal with that. When they're having an anxiety attack, you wish that you could take the anxiety away from them, you know, just so on and so forth. You could have adult children that are going through mental illness and inner child healing because you didn't know how to teach them that way properly either, right? Maybe it's just this trauma from these generational cycles that needed to be broken. Any type of thing that your child is suffering through, 8-11, you wish you could take it from them, right? You don't want them to suffer whatsoever. You would, in fact, suffer for them first before they did. So I'd like you to join me and say thank you to God for loving us like that. Thank you for showing us this internal Yeshua, Jesus energy to be able to connect with us, Lord, because Yeshua is the only energy that can convert this for us, because he's always looking for the bridegroom energy. We have to be willing to say, you know what, there's a whole other side to me, the inside that I don't even see. I operate from it because that's what I'm supposed to do. My inner self, my inner spirit, my intuition, my high priestess energy has been trafficked in a flush scientific test tube. But it's not really me. God sees his children as light beings, angelic forms, auras, just light. When we are born onto earth here, we are then born into sin and into flesh and the earth that is constantly dead. This feminine energy, the Empress, she is the physical realm to the spiritual realm. She is the portal on earth here, as all feminines are, to make the world go round. So how is that physical energy any different than energy to detox itself out? When I find myself having emotional stability, I'm able to feel better about things. I'm able to clear deeper emotions out, energy in motion that might bring me this. I feel so bad about this. My heart is so broken. I don't feel good enough. Well, how do I know what words to use unless it goes back up to my brain first? There's so much potential here. Look at how guided you are. And we did talk about that wheel, so it's here. If the wheel is moving forward, this 10 of 2s in another paradigm is then going to be 10 of 3s, but then it's also going to be a 10 of 4s. So isn't the worst of it over? 10, 10, love it. 10, 10. Isn't the worst of it over? Let's see what else is here. I love this so much. Lord, let's do this Empress energy. Let's finish this Empress energy here on this inside internal motion. That's all that this is. Let's see. Queen of Swords. Shut up, Lord. Look at right in between there is that Prince and that Princess of Swords. And that Knightess of Swords. Both, all 4 parties in your vessel. Did you know that? It's not just boy. It's not just girl. It's the power of all 3 at one point. Masculine, feminine, and the power of both, to be able to transcend that star power over to the moon, back to the star, and then over to the sun, back to the star, over to the moon, back to the star, over to the sun, back to the star, you know. But that Queen of Swords has to come first, right? Because the Emperor is all 4 kings, while the Empress is all 4 queens. But that means if all 16 royal descendants are there, that means 11, that we also would have to have the knights and the knightesses. And then we'd also have to have the page and the prince and the princesses. All of this growth after the wheel turns every single time. It's way deeper than you think. So when you can move emotions on one part of you, God is then forced to move emotions on the other parts of you too, because it is so much deeper than you think. You have the potential to stay clear-minded and have this clarity fairy come around and to give you the guidance to move forward. And if this Queen of Swords is here, 2 by 2, really 2 by 3 because of that feminine energy here, 3 by 3 as well, 3, 6, 9, right? With those major arcanas in between here. The Emperor with that, the star is going to be that 8, and then 2 by 2 off of that is the Lovers, but it's also going to be the inside bubble, the inside cell structure within that wheel of the tower itself, dividing it further, but I'm probably losing you there. Going back to this Queen of Swords, 2 by 2, 2 by 3, we also have Queen of Pentacles. I don't see no Queen of Wands there. I see Queen of Wands on the previous paradigm, but not the future paradigm. You have the absolute potential to gather everything, all of this energy and worth inheritance on the inside and the outside for you. Once you're able to gain the clarity yourself, 1234. Once you're able to say, you know what, I love you and I have to operate out of truth. And then once I can operate out of truth because I'm loving myself, it's just going to accelerate so much further. This is going to turn back into a 9 because it already has to continue filling itself before it can produce more power, another ace, to be able to multiply while it's still filling itself. That Empress energy into that feminine masculine energy, and then into that masculine energy. But that masculine and that feminine can never meet. They have to go through a converter. Us, just like Jesus, which was our very first one of our cards here. So it's so beautiful. There's another card behind here. Let's see. The Hierophant energy. I love this so much. We see 3 and we see 4 and we saw 5. We talked about that 6 with that 8 there, then that 7, that house of communication, which is right here. Communicating inside of our brain. Our brain is the only one that we talk to, and then our heart as well, which is right here, our big 5, our soul's nucleus. When we're able to clear our mindset, we're going to be able to feel the truth, and our middle pillar is going to be able to change that wheel. The star is going to lighten up that tower, and then that moon and sun is going to play into this twin flame separation. Now, I want to ask God one more question. God, what's with this future energy and this twin flame actually coming in for this person? This karmic partner contract will be voided out because you decided to live a life of truth. For sure. Let's see these ones here. The moon and the negative. Shut up. Well, that just confirms it right here. Look at you have so much power to gain in your feminine side. There's that King of Swords. Shut up. And he's right there on the back side. We just didn't see him. Doesn't mean he's not there. Your true partner to come on in, to balance your feminine side, to never hurt you again because you had missed opportunities so much within your 4 of Cups. Your big 5 right here, your soul's nucleus. And then that 4 of Pentacles, 4 of 4s and 4 of 3s, honey. That 4 of 2s and that 4 of 1s is already done. You just now have to balance the emotions to it. At the bottom of the deck here. Let's see. Last card, Ace of Pentacles. Well, if the Ace of Pentacles is there, that means the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Wands. Everything is all over for you to begin again. whenever you decide to. Love you. Wounds into light.